talked about that this morning, and let me just look at what are really criteria that we've got to consider in any kind of remediation protocol. Okay, quality of life and safety are first, homeowner and the workers. Should be cost effective. We should look at proven technologies, materials, means, and methods. Should be scientifically sound. In other words, any step one takes needs to be balanced back against the science. If you're going to leave any wire or metal in, okay, you've got to be able to have a reason to prove and justify it. Again, pre and post mediation testing and certification, and it should be a long-term solution. Looking at the options, we have mechanical IAQ treatment, we have gas treatment neutralization, I'll call it, we have encapsulation or molecular remediation, remove and replace, and the ultimate degree, bulldoze and start over. Okay. Looking quickly at risk system is one of those air treatments, and I'm not endorsing any of these right now. I'm only saying if you go and do the research, you can find out there are various methodologies. This is only a temporary cure, and the manufacturers of this stuff say they know it's only temporary. It's just to treat the air until somebody comes up with a better process, so if people are living in their home, they can continue to live there with a reasonable level of comfort. Okay. It's installed in HVAC systems. It's minimally invasive. Okay. It only removes the air contamination below the odor threshold limit. Corrosion will continue somewhat, okay? And it doesn't remove or remediate the drywall in any way, shape, or form. Okay? The cost of the system is about $6,500 to install it. You have a quarterly replacement of the substrate, and there's electrical because you're going to have to run your HVAC, okay? 724s, and obviously you're going to wear out some equipment with that. So roughly that's what, and there's a one-day installation. Within about a week to 10 days, they claim you start getting improvement in the air quality. Okay. Looking at gas treatment, this is the chlorine dioxide. And there are a couple of vendors that are doing this. One is Sabre. Okay. The structure is encapsulated. You've seen homes that are fumigated, bag them. Personal possessions on furnishings are removed. Okay. The gas is pumped in, is treated, left in place for approximately 8 to 10 hours until their test parameters are achieved. Then it's scrubbed from the structure. Cost of this is about $15 to $20 a square foot, and the processing time is about a week. There's been some discussion about whether it's bacterial or not. Some of the vendors that I've actually talked to indicate that no, it is a chemical reaction to oxidize the sulfur and create sulfates. The sulfides are what tend to be, more effective on people. Sulfates are pretty neutral, and their belief is that this can convert and oxidize the sulfur into the sulfates. I'm still waiting for the test data to see whether it is even remotely possible or even effective. Okay. Picture their equipment that they utilize. Okay, looking at the molecular remediation, there's one firm that's doing this, which is AbShield. It requires removal of all personal effects again. Okay, you're coming in, you're actually boring into the walls, you're injecting an absorbent and a coating within the interstitial space. Then you are putting on an absorbent and a finishing layer on the outside. Cost of this is about $11.25, they claim, a square foot. Again, this is nothing more than an encapsulation. It does not remove, and I've seen no test data on it. There have been, in the state of Louisiana, they had a town hall meeting. I think the Attorney General here in the state of Louisiana had some very strong comments that were recorded on your local TV channel. Again, just some of their own pictures. Removal and replacement. This is the one process which is going forward right now. One, talking about permitting, developing a remediation plan, personal properties removed, and how you handle that. And there's a number of steps in this, and any written protocol would really clearly identify what you're going to do with personal property. You don't want to keep moving it around, and then if there is anything which is adhering to this property, you might start affecting other locations. Removal of all building systems and make decisions on what can be reused or what needs to be disposed of. Remove all drywall, obviously restore and rebuild. After there's a cleaning process, these aren't in any specific order. Personal protection for the workers, containment, disposal, testing, documentation and preservation of information and any evidence. The cost of this right now, depending upon the location, depending on the level of finish of a building, is anywhere from $50 to $75 a square foot, and the time can take 3 to 6 months. This is for single-family dwellings or low-rise buildings. You get into South Florida with 42-story high-rise condominiums, and this cost is going to go up easily by 25%. Okay? Just your vertical access and movement is going to increase this cost significantly. You also have significantly more drywall. There's a building that I was asked to look at and give a remediation protocol for. You've got corridor spaces and you've got common areas, so there's a lot of additional drywall. So when you start adding this into a unit cost, it'll also go higher. Plus, there's a greater, more significant volume of drywall in a building like that than would be in an equivalent square foot house.
Is it square footage of the sheetrock or square footage of the floor space?
That is square footage of the floor space. Okay. And again, are you talking about a 9-foot ceiling? You're talking about 10-foot ceilings. Okay. What's the layout of the home? Okay. I mean, there's a number of factors that start getting into this. Bulldoze and start over, pretty clear. Okay. You're just going to bulldoze the place down and clean it up. And the cost of this is going to be anywhere from around $10 a square foot to demolish and dispose of, and then your reconstruction cost, again, depending on finishes and what you put into it, you know, $120 a square foot for the house. If landscaping is involved, and of course you've already demolished that, you know, whether the homeowner puts it back in or whether you do as the builder. Okay. I was intrigued this morning.